Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're zooming into the breathtaking, electrifying, and utterly enchanting world of hummingbirds. Those iridescent, pint-sized dynamos that dart through the air like living jewels, captivating us with their lightning-fast wings, boundless energy, and a defiance of physics that makes them one of nature's most extraordinary creations. So, grab a cozy blanket, a steaming mug of coffee or tea, a mountain of your favorite snacks, and maybe a notebook to capture the avalanche of mind-blowing facts we're about to unpack, because we're diving deep into every imaginable aspect of these feathered marvels, from their jaw-dropping physical capabilities, intricate behavioral patterns, and critical ecological roles to their quirky fun facts, profound cultural significance, conservation challenges, cutting-edge scientific discoveries, and heartwarming anecdotes that'll leave you completely in awe of these tiny titans. Because hummingbirds aren't just birds, they're nature's ultimate acrobats, indispensable pollinators, and universal symbols of joy, resilience, and beauty. And I'm absolutely thrilled to share this colossal vlog with you all, starting with their physical prowess, because hummingbirds are the epitome of miniaturized perfection, with most species weighing a mere 2 to 20 grams, lighter than a single AA battery, and measuring 3 to 5 inches long, yet their wings beat at an astonishing 50 to 80 times per second, producing that iconic humming sound and enabling them to hover with surgical precision, fly backward, sideways, or straight up like a helicopter, and zip forward at speeds up to 34 miles per hour, with courtship dives reaching a blistering 60 miles per hour, generating forces up to 9 times their body weight, and their strength is deceptive, as their tiny pectoral muscles, which account for 30% of their body mass, power up to 1,000 wing beats per minute during intense displays, and their agility is unparalleled, with the ability to change direction in a fraction of a second, executing mid-air flips or hairpin turns that would make a fighter jet jealous. And their metabolism is a biological marvel, with heart rates soaring to 1,260 beats per minute during flight and oxygen consumption 10 times higher than elite human athletes, requiring them to consume half their body weight in nectar daily, equivalent to a human drinking 80 gallons of soda. And their vision is extraordinary, with tetrachromatic eyes that detect ultraviolet light and perceive a spectrum of colors invisible to humans, helping them pinpoint vibrant flowers, and their long, slender bills, paired with even longer tongues that flick in and out up to 13 times per second, are perfectly adapted to sip nectar from deep within tubular blooms, using a capillary action discovered in a 2023 science study. But their intelligence is equally astounding, as hummingbirds possess the largest brain-to-body ratio of any bird, with their hippocampus enabling them to memorize the locations of thousands of flowers and the precise timing of their nectar production, a feat of spatial memory that rivals GPS technology. And they can learn to associate specific colors, shapes, or even human-provided feeders with food, adapting to new environments with remarkable speed, and their communication is a vibrant mix of high-pitched chirps, squeaks, buzzes, and trills, often paired with dazzling aerial displays to defend territory or court mates. And while they're largely solitary, hummingbirds are fiercely territorial, with males guarding prime feeding patches, sometimes just a single flower cluster, by performing spectacular dive bomb displays that include high-speed chases or popping sounds made by their tail feathers vibrating at specific frequencies. And their habitats are incredibly diverse, spanning the Americas from southern Alaska to Tierra del Fuego, thriving in tropical rainforests, high-altitude Andean meadows, arid deserts, coastal scrublands, and even urban gardens, as long as nectar-rich flowers like trumpet vines or bee balm are present, and their diet is primarily nectar, which provides quick energy, but they also consume small insects and spiders for protein, catching them mid-air with acrobatic precision or plucking them from leaves and webs. And their feeding technique is a study in efficiency, as they hover with such control that they can maintain position within millimeters of a flower, even in gusty winds or rain, visiting 1,000 to 2,000 flowers daily and consuming up to 8 times their body weight in liquid, making them critical pollinators, transferring pollen between plants and supporting the reproduction of up to 20% of wildflowers in some ecosystems. And reproduction is a delicate and intricate process, with males performing elaborate courtship displays in spring or summer, including steep dives that create whistling sounds. fan-like tail spreads, or pendulum-like swings to showcase their iridescence, and females, unimpressed by mere flashiness, select mates based on display vigor, then build tiny, cup-shaped nests, often no bigger than a walnut, from spider silk, lichen, moss, and plant fibers, binding them with silk for elasticity, and they lay 2 pea-sized eggs incubated for 14 to 23 days, and the female alone raises the chicks, feeding them regurgitated nectar and insects every 10 to 15 minutes for 3 to 4 weeks until they fledge. And hummingbirds typically live 3 to 5 years in the wild, though some reach 12 in captivity, forming no long-term bonds but leaving a legacy through their offspring. And their intelligence shines in their adaptability, with studies showing they can solve simple puzzles, like choosing feeders with higher sugar concentrations, and their problem-solving extends to avoiding aggressive rivals or navigating complex floral landscapes, and their adaptations are evolutionary masterpieces, from a unique ball-and-socket wing joint that allows omnidirectional flight to a torpor state where they lower their body temperature to as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit and slow their heart rate to 50 beats per minute at night to conserve energy, a survival trick that can reduce their metabolic needs by 90%, and their iridescent feathers, which refract light like prisms due to microscopic platelet structures, aren't just for show. They signal health, genetic fitness, and territorial dominance, and hummingbirds interact with other species in dynamic ways. As pollinators, they sustain countless plants, from agaves to orchids, but they compete fiercely with bees, butterflies, and other hummingbirds for nectar, engaging in high-speed aerial dogfights, and their prey for hawks, owls, cats, and even large insects like praying mantises, though their speed and agility make them elusive, and their ecological role is monumental, supporting food chains by pollinating plants that feed other species and controlling insect populations, and their presence in ecosystems boosts biodiversity, with some tropical forests relying on them for up to 30% of plant reproduction. But conservation is a pressing issue, as habitat loss from deforestation, urbanization, and monoculture agriculture destroys feeding and nesting sites, and climate change disrupts flower blooming cycles, while pesticides reduce insect prey and contaminate nectar, leading to population declines of 30 to 50% in some regions over the past 5 decades. And invasive species, like non-native plants, outcompete native flowers, but there's hope as conservation efforts, including hummingbird-friendly gardens with native plants, protected reserves, and community science projects like the Hummingbird Monitoring Network, are tracking migration and breeding patterns. And organizations like the Hummingbird Society and Audubon Society promote habitat restoration and public education, while shade-grown coffee plantations in Central America provide critical stopover sites. And hummingbirds hold a profound place in human culture, revered in Aztec mythology as messengers of the gods, with the deity Huitzilopochtli, meaning hummingbird of the south, embodying their warrior spirit. And in Native American traditions, like those of the Hopi and Zuni, they symbolize energy, healing, and love, often depicted in pottery and dances, while in Indian folklore, they're souls of the departed, and in modern times, they inspire art, poetry, jewelry, and tattoos as emblems of joy and perseverance, and pop culture embraces them. From Flit in Pocahontas, the spirited hummingbird companion, to nature documentaries like BBC's Planet Earth, which showcase their aerial prowess. And recent research is unlocking new secrets, with a 2023 science study by Dr. Alejandro Rico Guevara, revealing their tongues use elastic pumping rather than capillary action to draw nectar, revolutionizing our understanding of their feeding. And a 2024 Nature study found their flight muscles have unique mitochondrial densities, explaining their endurance, with applications in microrobotics and drone design. And fun facts: hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backward. Their wings trace a figure-8 pattern to hover, and they'd need to consume 150 cans of soda daily, if human-sized, to match their energy needs. And their nests are so tiny, they fit in a teaspoon, often camouflaged with lichen to deter predators, and their tongues can extend twice the length of their bill. And anecdotes are heartwarming, like a hummingbird in Costa Rica freeing a trapped peer from a net in 2020, or one returning to a California feeder for 10 consecutive years, becoming a local celebrity, and their 90% shared DNA with other birds belies their unique traits, like their hyperspeed metabolism or torpor, and their behaviors, from territorial chases to courtship dances, show a fiery spirit. with males sometimes diving from 100 feet to impress females, creating sonic booms with their tails. And their migration is epic, with some traveling 3,000 miles from Canada to Central America, crossing the Gulf of Mexico in a 20-hour non-stop flight, navigating via the Earth's magnetic field. And their conservation is a call to action, planting native flowers like salvia or columbine, reducing pesticide use, or supporting groups like the Hummingbird Society can help, because saving hummingbirds means saving ecosystems, and their scientific value, from inspiring aerodynamic models to studying memory, is immense. So let's keep them buzzing, and I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite hummingbird fact? Have you seen one hover in your garden? Or what's your take on their conservation? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's keep this community thriving as we celebrate the animal kingdom. Because hummingbirds are pure magic. So stay curious, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video. No. Or what's your take on their conservation? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's keep this community thriving as we celebrate the animal kingdom. Because hummingbirds are pure magic. So stay curious, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video.